All right, so I want to talk about why I don't cue guys to stay closed longer with their torso or with their upper arm. So first of all, the guys that we tend to tell this are the guys that already have a bad pattern with their front arms. So they're the guys that as soon as they break their arms, their front arm immediately swims out to the side here, causing early torso rotation, right? Kind of throws off their whole throwing pattern, and instead of them being able to rotate and then release out here, giving them a lot of time to accelerate the baseball, right? If you're gonna accelerate the baseball from here all the way to here, you're gonna be able to throw harder and be healthier than if you rotate early and can only accelerate it from here through there, right? So that's kind of, we want that and we don't want this. So the problem is if we just tell this guy to stay closed longer, he's gonna take that same movement pattern, but it's just gonna be shifted or rotated to the right. So now, yeah, he's here, right? But he's still engaging early. And then as he goes to rotate, this arm is still gonna come here and then end up out here, right? He's not actually going to be here and then rotating. He's still gonna be here, pulling too early, and then his arm's gonna get kind of locked up behind him, and he's gonna end up coming out here. So how I tend to attack this is instead of telling them to stay closed longer, we wanna change the actual pattern that they're using with their front arm. So we want to basically rid them of that swim move that's causing that early torso rotation without just telling them, hey, try to stay closed longer, and then just kind of throwing off their whole motion with that while they still do that same swim move. So what I tend to start with for those guys is instead of as soon as you break, engaging with that front arm right away, I try to have them feel what it's like to keep the whole upper body relaxed, and specifically for those guys, the front scap and lat relaxed as their lower body works into landing, right? So if I was gonna do like a mini curl hop into landing, most guys, or the guys that tend to pull, are kind of like this, right? So they're really initiating that throw almost as soon as they break. So what I'm trying to get them to feel is instead of that, it's like here where your lower half is free to finish and go, but you're still relaxed and right here. So once you get here, you can then rotate, right? So instead of, again, this is kind of the first bad one, being there, earlier torso rotation, causing the arm to just kind of get lost out of that plane of shoulder rotation and not having much room or time to accelerate that. Instead of that, we're gonna try to get them to feel getting the lower body finished first and then rotating after that. So it looks something more like this, right? So you notice that if I'm able to let the lower body go without engaging the upper half, now the lower half kind of swings me into my landing, right? So it's a swing into landing, and then from there, that then cues this to go. Front side comes down, and then we get that rotation with the forward flexion instead of just the kind of pull and spin that those guys tend to do.